This is a Forwardly podcast.
Hey, Colin.
Yeah, Kaydence.
Do you like media and entertainment that's badass?
Durr.
Do you like media and entertainment that's bitchin'?
Yeah.
And how about a little bonkers?
Hills, yeah, throw that in there.
Then I think you might like this thing called the Baywatch Rewatch.
Oh, God. Are you trying to promote the podcast I'm actively doing with you right now?
A little bit. Is it working?
Cool intro. All right, well.
Let's get started.
Let's get into it, guys. Hi, everybody. It's Colin and Kaydence, your favorite bro-sis duo. And I just want to start this episode off by saying, like, we're dealing with something kind of intense right now. I think we're being
really
extorted through blackmail. And Kaydence,
We
you wanna just
are.
expand?
And what makes this? Yeah, I got an email, you guys. And it started out friendly enough. It opened with "Hola, Kaydence."
Oh, it was so
and
friendly.
I thought,
Hook, line, sinker.
oh,
They
I
got
made a
you.
new friend. They totally did. My defenses went down, and I thought, I'm getting fan mail. And then he really dove right in and was like, I've been watching you on your webcam, and you have a really bad habit of masturbating in front of your camera, and it's your dirty deed.
You didn't quite say you have a bad habit. It's you have a fondness for this kind of a hobby. And basically, he just drilled into Katie for always having onanisms in front of her webcam all day, every day. Nonstop onanisms, which, I mean, that's pretty impressive to keep having nonstop onanisms. That sounds really nice.
How else do you think I make my millions of dollars? I gotta keep those onanisms coming.
But then he was
no pun
actually-
intended.
We were like thinking, oh my gosh, so he's blackmailing us. But then he was just telling us that he's actually just trying to save Katie's public image from this dirty deed. So he's trying to help. Like, he was trying to help keep Kaydence's reputation, safe and clean.
He really is.
We just had to give him
Totally.
a very fair price
$1,100.
of $1,100. And he would keep all of Katie's masturbation
he's like-
onanism videos away from the public eye.
The way he approached it too was just like, listen, I mean, if you just give me some remuneration, I think this is really a reasonable amount to be asking for in order to sweep these dirty deeds under the carpet.
I mean,
And I was like, you
thank
know
God for
what?
people.
You
I
are
think it's-
100% right.
I think his name was Ricardo Magnera or something. So Ricardo Magnera,
something like that.
something
Very
like
close.
that. If you're listening, we appreciate you trying to save Kaydence's public image. But let me tell you, nothing can save that public image, all right? She's a loud and proud onanism, okay?
I have no shame. I am a red-blooded woman, and onanisms are just part of my biology.
So
I can't change it.
yeah, so anyway, we just wanted to bring that up and just say that, we're kind of dealing with extortion and blackmail right now, and it's really hard, but we're trying to navigate through it.
Oh, you know what we forgot to say is that, because I was going to say, part of him was very friendly and being like, this is a really reasonable amount. I'm just trying to save your public image from your family and friends. And then the other part of him was like, he flipped really to be like a mean dude and was like, don't go to the police. It won't even matter. I'm a foreigner anyway.
Oh,
And
don't
so,
appeal to the police, actually. Don't appeal to the police because I'm a foreigner. So it's like, oh, he knows.
Don't bother.
Don't bother. He's a foreigner. He knows these laws in and out. I bet you more than anything,
I don't know if you
Mortimer.
know this, but foreigners can... Mortimer?
It was Mortimer. It was Anton Mortimer. He found you and he was so mad that we teased him so much in the episode.
You know what? That
No,
email is totally Mortimer style because it's just like so long and winding and going back and forth from friendly to evil that it actually is right up his alley.
And we never actually saw Mortimer write down anything, so he could be really not good at spelling because this
I mean, he was a
guy
genius,
gem.
but
But if you guys are interested in what we're talking about, go check out our Instagram for the full extortion blackmail letter, and it'll be an emotional roller coaster. So just be aware. You're going to learn some really private things about Kaydence. And that's just the way being a celebrity is. I mean, we're just like in the public eye now, and that's just what it is. Today we thought we'd do something.
Anybody else. Like, sorry, I was just gonna say I'm just like anybody else having onanisms in front of my webcam.
Who doesn't? I only have onanisms in front of webcams. I'm like, oh, I'm about to have an onanism. Turn on the webcam.
I like the idea that like now it's Pavlovian. Like I cannot have an onanism unless a webcam is on. It's a problem.
So, it makes doing this podcast really nerve-wracking. Oh, because we see each other on webcam right now. It's really disgusting. We're brother and sister. So today,
on consistently through this.
You're so nasty. Is that why your webcam's broken today? That's why I can't see you. All right. So today we're gonna do something a little bit different. Well, not too different. We're gonna, since we just did our season finale.
Listen, we're thinking real outside the box.
I know, we're thinking real crazy, you guys. You've seen it here first. But since this was such a memorable and emotional roller coaster that Kaydence and I went on, because we've said it before, but we just want you guys to know we had never even heard of this show before we decided to watch it and tell the plot with you and tell the story of these 5 fabulous characters. So what we're gonna do is just kind of ask each other. We each came up with 5 questions. And we are going to ask them to each other and then answer them for ourselves. So I'll ask Kaydence a question. She'll give me her answer. And then I'll answer my own question and vice versa. I
think we should just ask them in our minds quietly.
Well, I meant so like you know that we're getting both people's
That's
answers.
That's too obvious.
Just stare in the webcam.
Think about those onanisms in the webcam.
Oh no, onanism webcams. And I cannot stop saying vice versa, even though I know now it's vice versa. And also
that is something very important that happened this season is you learn vice versa.
Well, also I learned what snuff film was. And you know what I was thinking? Maybe I would no. I know this is way you guys listen to our
fish on your tits.
Sorry, no. Floppy dead fish on your tits. If you haven't listened to our episode, Showgirls 2 Pennies from Heaven, please listen to it. It's so batshit crazy. But in that episode, I learned what a snuff film is. But I was thinking actually the other day, and I wanted to tell you, I think maybe I was thinking like a smut film. Is that something that people do? Smut? Like, do people say smut porn or something?
I think smut is just pornography, but let me Google it really quick because
it's like
I'm I'm almost positive it's just porn, but you've got me thinking.
Well, because now I was thinking like maybe that's what it's like, stuff that like you don't typically watch.
That's it.
It's just porn?
It's just porn, yeah. Like, well, I should say that in the actual dictionary, it says a small flake of soot or other dirt. Or the other, definition is a fungal disease of grains in which part of the ear changes into black powder.
Both of these are sounding like the porn I like.
A few bad crop years with smut and drought and frost. And then you can also say all those black sputs from the engine. But in Urban Dictionary, it's when 2 or more characters, fictional or non-fictional, have a sexual encounter with each other. It could be all sex with little plot or a well-thought-out plot with a lot of sex.
Well, who would have known? Well, color me surprised. I didn't know that. But you know what?
So,
that's why I like smut porn.
It's technically a particle of soot, but whatever.
If you can just get a little soot from that fireplace and just rub it all over your body and make a film, I'll watch it, you guys. Like I should not say that because it sounded like I was talking to you.
Do that
on
my webcams instead of.
Oh yeah, you should start. This is called smut porn, and it's just like you rolling around in
This is
ash
a completely different genre.
as your ears fall off, I guess. Apparently. Anyway, but I did learn 2 major things. Anyway, point being, I learned that it's vice versa.
Why would
but
my
I keep
ears
saying
fall off?
because you said that it was like a disease of the ear where it like crumbles off at the end. That's what you just said.
Call it on a crop of corn.
I thought you meant like an act, like it was a disease of the ear where your ear started crumbling off. That's why I was like, oh, the kind of porn I like. Like, I love to see people's ears crumble up and fall off. I did not catch the ear of corn. I was like, how have I never heard of that disease before? How have I never heard of that? It's bizarre.
I'm thinking about someone's ears just like crumbling and falling off.
It's so
Oh,
gross.
like a cartoon.
Okay, anyway. Okay, well, you learn something new every day, guys. We should classify ourselves as an educational podcast. It's all education.
Really, we should. I mean, it's basically information that will make your life better and more full.
Yeah, and I want to know people out there who thought it was vice versa and who knew it's snuff porn. Well, you know what? Let's just get off the topic. All right. So, Kaydence, it's time for Pacific Blue recap question time. My first question to you is...
It's time for the questions
it's time
for the time.
Question time. Oh, one time, you guys, we did a shout out. We were doing like shout outs to some of the podcasts that we love because we love a lot of podcasts. And we were re-listening to it. And we both literally were like, they're so cool. This is cool. Cool people love cool. And it's just cool to have cool people that are cool, like our cool podcast. We said cool probably, I think 17 times maybe.
Yeah, and I really make an effort. I know there's probably stuff that I repeat a lot, but I do try. I make a mindful effort not to repeat myself. And so I was kind of disappointed that cool was the word we chose to repeat.
I don't repeat myself. I just repeat you over and over. Every last thing you say, I'm like, Yep.
Oh, you know what?
Reeling it in.
I totally meant to send you a video the other day. We watched the Sandlot for 4th of July. And it's one of my favorite movies ever. But there's two brothers, and one of them always repeats the other one. That's like their personalities. So one will be like, that's crazy. And the other one will be like, yeah, that's crazy. What are you thinking? Yeah, what are you thinking? And I was getting the giggles so bad because I was like, that's me and Colin.
It was so, I love that movie. Anyway, oh my gosh, and I watched those clips you sent last night too.
It's classic.
Of the bit, ruining the bit.
Kill the bit.
That was so funny. And I loved
that was what we referenced in the last episode.
Right. And then Ryan Gosling with the cool. I love it because I just started. Well, anybody out there, you know, we love our like nostalgic 90s TV. And for some reason, I've gotten into rewatching some of those old shows just like as shit to play in the background. And I started watching Family Matters from like the first episode onward. And you think about how fucking ridiculous it was. Like, it got so ridiculous. Like, Steve Urkel made
there was a freaking machine.
Yes, there was a machine that made Steve Urkel into Stefan Urkel, and he was like...
Urkel.
It made him, like, sexy, I guess? I don't know. It was... And you think about it, it was bizarre. It was so bizarre.
It was so bizarre.
So, yeah, Kaydence sent me a SNL skit with Ryan Gosling and Kyle Mooney. And they do, it's like exactly like Family Matters, the same like setup and everything. And it's just riffing on like how bad it was. Like the dialogue, the everything was so bad.
It got cut for time, I guess. And here's something I learned because I was originally looking for the Kill the Bit skit because we had mentioned it on the last episode and I meant to send it to Colin. And then I kind of got sucked into a hole because I was on my webcam, if you know what I mean.
Let's do it. You can't get away from that webcam.
I got sucked into an SNL hole. And I learned that Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett they met their freshman year in college and they were roommates.
Oh my God, they were roommates.
And they started making videos and stuff together. And so they've come to SNL together kind of like as friends forever.
Well, I knew that something was going on with them because they always are in skits together. They're always doing things together.
Yeah, it made so much sense. So then the kind of like the theory online, because if you go through to SNL, like on YouTube, their official page, they have a whole section of skits that were cut for time.
I love some of the cut for time skits are so funny.
But a ton of them are the Kyle Mooney, Beck Bennett sketches that are kind of like surreal and absurdist humor. And so the theory online is that it's a running joke because all of the videos that they used to make together as a team, they would upload on YouTube. So they had a very specific sense of humor that only worked online, if that makes sense, like in online videos. And so the joke is, this is cut for time, but really we want it only uploaded on YouTube, not to run in the show, if that makes sense.
Oh, so it's all a big old plan. Big old game.
It's just a meta joke.
I love those guys. They're
That
so
wasn't,
funny.
I mean, that was kind of anticlimactic, but whatever.
I don't even know. I forgot what we were even talking about. I don't know. Anyway, it's time to start this game. It's time to start this question game. Oh, yeah, old shows. But I don't know why we were talking about old shows. But anyway, so let's dive into it. Kaydence, how much training would you need to become an elite bike cop? And why?
And why? I feel pretty confident. I take a lot of bike rides, so I feel like I would do pretty darn well. I think it would mostly need to be training for like real sharp turns. Oh, I would definitely need to learn how to ramp my bike up onto handrails to ride on a tightrope.
That's what I'm saying.
mean,
and pier,
that would
always
take
the
some
pier,
time.
the pier walkway, the
right.
handrail on the pier. You have to always ride on that. You have to learn how to leap up on cars.
Right.
It's a lot.
I would definitely need to learn how to leap up on my handlebars so that I could get onto a helicopter that was flying away.
Oh, I don't think they teach that. I think that's a TC special. I mean, I don't know if you just learn that in regular bike training school, but I hope you do.
I would definitely need Palermo jumping out from behind barrels, though, because, I mean, you never know when you're going to get scared.
Keep you on your toes. It would take me at least 2 full business weeks, because
2 business weeks.
2 business weeks, because
you're like, I am not training on Saturdays and Sundays.
No Saturday, Sunday training. I need my weekends, and B, like, my vision is so bad, and I'm so awkward on bikes. It would take me a long time. I don't even know the last time I've ridden a bike, to be honest. It's really scary.
If you think they would even let you on a bike with your sad eyes, you are mistaken. You would be Miko 100%
I would
in
be
HR.
such Miko, or I'd be Elvis, just hanging out, just like trying to be part of the team, like kind of fixing things, not
so
really.
Much.
So actually, I take that back.
Hey guys,
not 2 full,
here.
right? Not 2 full business weeks. It would take me like 3.5 years, and it would be like a whole physical occupational therapy type situation.
Hours.
Only in daylight hours with like extreme contacts in, so it would take me a while.
I would love to know what your favorite Palermo fuck up was.
Oh my god, there were so many. But hands down, we got shot, he got kidnapped. I think my favorite is for sure, just because painting the visual for listeners, is when he was on top of that building yelling freeze down to the people like 20 stories below him and trying to run down to them and then falling down the fire escape while yelling freeze. And the 2 criminals were just looking up at him and he's like, freeze, just tumble, tumble, tumble. And they were like, this is so sad. This is so pathetic. But he was determined. Because I'm just starting to think, like, Palermo, what was the end game here? Were you going to yell freeze and then they were going to watch you run down 30 flights of stairs and then you were going to handcuff him? Like, what was the end game here?
And they were just going to wait at the bottom?
They're just going to wait at the bottom? Like, you really need to think about when you're yelling freeze, buddy, and, like, your timing. But that has to be...
The element of surprise is your friend, Palermo.
Yes.
The element of surprise
I
is
think
your
that
friend.
would be my favorite.
That was a good one. There are so many. I think for sure, I laughed at the physical comedy of him falling down that flight of stairs, but I laughed so hard at the surprise element of the infernist guy because Palermo was so excited. He was like, I found the bad guy. I'm going to arrest him. And he was going to like have his moment of victory. And then he like goes and he's like, you're under arrest. And then the infernist pistol whips him.
Oh, it was so sad. He was so excited. I don't know if Palermo ever actually made an arrest, you guys. I don't know if he ever actually brought anybody in. Now that I'm thinking about it,
I was like,
it's like everybody else might have. The sweet little baby Palermo, that was a good one. Because the excitement in his little eyes, and then boom, hit and kidnapped and tied up in a burning building. Kaydence, what is your favorite one-liner or lines from the whole season, like a conversation or like lines, monologue, whatever. You get it.
Oh man, there are so many, but I think the thing that I value the most that gave me the giggles so hard and still does when I think about it is when Palermo had to bring Annette back from the dead. And she goes, and I appreciate that.
Oh, Annette.
He's like, Annette, I literally had to bring you back to life. And she's like, and I appreciate that.
Annette's just pure, and she just did not care. That is a really good one. I was going to say for sure, I think Mortimer's speech, his bizarre,
so
weird, bonkers speech where he just had the voice like this. And like, just the fact that he really was describing what everybody knows, but he was trying to make it sound like so scientific and like so... But he was just like, yeah,
like
Mortimer,
poetry.
that's literally catching on fire. Like, everybody knows that's what happens. Your skin burns first and the rest of your body burns. I think that would have
I bet you don't know that your skin blisters and can get infected.
Did you know
and
that
then you have to seek medical treatment.
aloe vera's very good for a sunburn, a star sizzle?
You might need a skin graft.
Okay, what's your question?
Oh, it's my turn to ask a question. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
you already
went back to
answered. You
thinking
said
about
that
my
it
favorite
was-
one-liner.
It was
was
Palermo
circling back.
telling Annette.
Yes, for sure. Okay. Who is your favorite criminal mastermind?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, I can't use Mortimer twice in a row, although he was a mastermind. Criminal mastermind.
God, let's say it's a given that he's sort of at the top of every list.
He is. He's just up there always. I'm thinking criminal mastermind. Who? You know what? Bex. I think Bex came in. She had a goal to get in that jewelry district. She had a light at the end of that tunnel. She just seduced her way into everybody's life. And then she had girl had a dream. And she made it happen. Even though her
She
husband,
believed she
partner,
could fly.
everything died, she made it happen. Oh, but you know who's in a tight second? Well, I'll let you answer and then I'll tell you who's in my tight second.
Mine is definitely Carl, who is the neo-Nazi surfer.
Oh
who
my
went to night
gosh,
school
that's
to
what I
become a
was going to
lawyer.
say. That's literally what I was going to say. That's my tight second. You know, he was an awful person, but he was also very dedicated. Night school, owns a bar, makes schedules. Like, he really was committed.
He did it, guys. He got his Juris Doctorate from those night classes. So,
Yeah.
Carl, I hope at this point you've switched your politics a little. But you know what? He got shit done.
He did. Yeah, because if you remember correctly, like, there was nothing that he didn't know when it came to law. They would be like, you're getting a 201. And he's like, you mean a 214? And then at the very end, he succumbed by saying, I'm getting a 719. Or whatever he said.
Well, because TC was like body slamming him, and I was like, "What number is this, Carl? What number is this?"
And he just succumbs so bad. Yeah, I was thinking that, but now that you say even Big Red, there's so many criminal masterminds I love. But when you say mastermind, it definitely, yeah, I don't know.
Gives him
That's a
too much
tough one.
credit.
That's a tough one because every episode had a criminal mastermind. What is your favorite sub-character who needs their own spin-off? Or character, I guess. Character or sub-character.
Oh man, there are a lot of. You know what? This is surprising me, but I'm gonna go with it because it instinctually came to me, even though, like, I haven't given this a ton of thought intellectually. Is the boa skates because
Oh, wow.
or
You
roller
pulled that
snakes.
out of left field. Roller
I know.
snakes.
Here's-
Wow, I was not expecting that one.
I know, that's why I'm saying I went with my gut because it just like intuitively came to me and not mentally. And so part of the reason is
Nice way
because
to say guts.
when he's like,
Nice way to say gut after that snake has to eat grapefruits and throw it out of his guts every day. Real nice.
oh god,
Real
I
nice,
triggered
Cadence.
that snake. I'm
His guts
sorry,
are thrown
Boa.
out every
I'm
day,
sorry.
but whatever. Nice choice of words. Anyway, keep going.
I'm so insensitive because he does. So I want to know about his street performer life, period. Just that whole thing is endlessly fascinating to me.
How did he train for that?
What
How did
gave
he get
him
the
the
snake to
idea?
do that? Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Does he travel? Does he only stay on that one pier? Is he a traveling show person? He also said, I would like my lawyer. I want to know, why does he have a lawyer? Is this lawyer on retainer? What kind of money is he making that he can retain a lawyer if that's the case?
Is he paying
What got
taxes?
him interested in snakes? Yeah, I feel like a show about the pier performers could be very interesting.
There was so many. We should just give a quick shout out to all the background performers of this show, you guys, because everything was filmed bright midday in Santa Monica Beach. They had the same. It was always like jugglers, bubblers, boa snakes, knife eaters, like
Guy on
always.
stilts.
Guy on stilts. Shout out to Guy on stilts. He was in every episode. Every episode. Actually, roller snakes went between Guy on stilts' legs like 2 times in that episode.
You're right.
Guy on stilts, he was dressed like Abraham Lincoln or something. Or not Abraham Lincoln. He's dressed like
he never got more screen time than he did in Pacific Blue.
Right. What's the We Want You? Uncle Sam. He was just like Uncle Sam. And it was just Guy on stilts dressed like Uncle Sam every episode. And
Patriotic dude on stilts.
And tons of babes rollerblading in the background and so many falls, you guys.
Oh,
So many falls.
So many high tops.
Yes. There's this one episode that Kaydence mentioned. I didn't see it until she told me about it, but this girl
It wasn't. It's that one. It's the boa.
Is it? They're like so expecting you to be so glued onto roller snakes that this girl biffs it in the background. She's an extra, falls straight on her face, and it is hilarious. Hope she's okay. Hope you're okay, girl.
Poor girl. She was like, "This is my breakout." Then
I would say, I'm glad you went with roller snakes. I was thinking for sure I would love to know a little bit more about Scott Magruder. I'm getting a little Del Toro, and I'm a little interested in like what his acting career is like. What made him want to be an actor and do his own stunts, and what on earth made him think that he could jump off a fucking pier into sand and thought it was water. Like, what drugs do you have to be on to miss that? Miss that cue. So I think maybe Scott Magruder, but he's kind of a dick. So I was also thinking Elvis. I think I would really like to see the shenanigans that Elvis gets into. He's got a backstory.
He could. He has a wide variety of interests. I was going to also say with Scott Magruder, you could really get into the nitty gritty of like, how does he still have a job when he's such a dick all the time?
Oh, I know.
What is his talent that is so worth just the shit?
That's what I mean. It's obviously not doing his own stunts because he sucked. And like, why is he a dick? Why does he think he can act like that? And why does he get in fights with people from rehab? Put up with it? Why do people from rehab come to his past and try to fight with him in a bar? And like, why does he think that's okay? So many questions.
Do they come to his past?
So many. So many questions for Scott Magruder. I'm not the kind of guy you meet in rehab. Good times. All right, your turn.
I will go with, what was your favorite costuming choice?
Oh my goodness. That is such a good one. There were so many amazing 90s costumes. Well, if you're thinking physical costume, I did like when we met Chris Kelly in her milk carton costume. That was like a physical costume that I enjoyed because she looked ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to say that I really loved Del Toro's painted on tight tank top with his thick gold chain. And I love how it was tucked into his like basketball shorts. And he had kind of like mid-shin socks on with tennis shoes. I really liked that look. That was a good date night look for him. Very good costume.
That was hot.
What's yours?
Mine would be probably when they were making an overt effort to accentuate Corey's hot bod during the bank robbery. They put her in just the tightest tank top and shorts. But then, because they needed also it to be practical, they gave her a fanny pack where she could store the extra handcuff key.
Mm-hmm.
It was practical on so many levels.
Oh, Corey and her hot bod. Corey was like such a underrated character. She was probably like my favorite of the 5, I think.
She was so beautiful.
I like Del Toro too. This brings me to one of my last and final questions. Who would you burgle in a hotel room? From the cast. Not the cast, everyone. Everyone in season 1.
Anybody we saw on screen?
Anybody. Bad, good, anybody.
Hammerschmidt. Just
Hammerschmidt, the lawyer that died in the last one, got burned in his car.
I'm
Cruel.
totally kidding. I would not burgle him. I think, are we talking just based purely on looks or also personality?
Let's do looks alone, just without any kind of context, and then we'll do personality involved.
Okay, so if we're doing purely looks, I'm going to go with the teacher, Chris's teacher, because he was cute. And
That's
if
what
you
I like
just
to hear.
completely don't acknowledge the badge licking, he was very cute. The end.
Well, that's actually my same answer too. You know, I had the biggest throbs for literary teacher. I was rooting for him so hard until
you did
he got
like
a little
him.
rapey.
I forgot about that.
And then he just tried to lick her badge without telling her he had a fetish for cops. But until that point, I was like,
So
oh, this guy's so
gross.
cute. He's so nice. He's a teacher.
Yeah,
he's
he was
smart.
cute.
Remember that fireplace with all the books and the globe? Because he's a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's
The
got books and
globe.
globes everywhere. So I would say that. But what about like if you found out their personality, and you had to have burgle with a personality involved, which nobody likes to do.
I had to burgle with the personality involved.
No one likes to do that. No one likes to do that.
Oh, gross. I totally just remembered the burglar and his gross, like, well, nobody wants to have sex with
I
me.
know his little weasely face. Nobody. And then Chris is like, "Oh, you." And she gives him like a little noogie on his head. "Oh, you. Get out of here."
And she totally, he's like, would you handcuff me? And she's like, oh, you're so silly. Of course I will, you little perv. Let's see. With personality involved, I feel like this might be a little bit repetitive because we love Del Toro so much, but it would be Del Toro. Like, A, he's handsome. B, he's well dressed. You know he smells good. And also, he's endearing. He's endearing. He's kind
I
of
can see
dumb, but
that.
he's endearing.
I can see. I mean, with personality involved, I think
I can't guarantee he'd be interested in burgling me.
you
I
can't
may
guarantee.
not be.
He ran away with his boxer lover, and we don't know where he went. But
Yeah.
I would say, secondly, like either Candy Love or
Yeah,
Jenna's
for sure.
character that came back, who was actually Del Toro's prom, his love, that was the centerfold.
Oh, right.
But she
Because speaking of not having a personality, there's nothing there.
That's how she talks. So I probably couldn't handle that. Maybe Candy Love. Candy
don't
Love was
think I
super
could.
hot. She was a traveler,
Yeah.
because she just got run out of every city. She's a sex therapist, quote,
She's
quote,
worldly.
therapist. She had good style, and I just think that I liked her. She was very down to earth. She was willing to sacrifice her life to save other people. She's heroic.
Oh, yeah. She was very brave.
Yeah,
I was
she went
actually
out
thinking
on her
about her because
own.
I was like, she was really beautiful. That she was a good option. She came to my mind. I'm not gonna lie.
And she did. I think she risked her own life because she was going out with her brother or something, and then she knew that the guy might shoot her in the middle of the day. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I do know that she
Right.
She
No,
risked
she
her
wanted
life.
to be part of the setup. Yeah.
Candy Love. Okay,
All right.
that was my last question. What was yours?
Favorite plot we didn't cover, and I have 3 options: the naked protest, the rollerblade pickpocket, or the wind chime teaser.
Oh man, those are all such good ones. I loved the rollerblading pickpockets though, because logistically thinking about it, you're on rollerblades, bud. How are you gonna pickpocket somebody on rollerblades? You got to be really smooth. And we all did rollerblades. No one was smooth on rollerblades. You'd be bumping into people, can't brake. Something would get caught as you're trying to rollerblade by, and it would just be awful. I don't know. I think I would have liked to have. I think that was the best one.
Yeah, they had a really intricate system because there was more than one rollerblader. And so they had a very intricate system of one would do the pickpocketing, they would pass it off to the next person.
I mean, doesn't
then
it seem like a lot of
they would-
organizing? Lots of stuff must go into
Mhm.
organizing that plot. So, yeah, I'm curious about it.
But also, let's also just consider how many crimes were committed on rollerblades in this
so many,
show. A
so many.
ton.
You're right. There wasn't one crime committed. There wasn't one crime
Robberies,
committed
a
on
lot.
feet. Nobody did anything on their feet. It was bikes, cars, rollerblades, whatever, helicopters.
Except
Nobody did anything.
for anybody who wore a trench coat and carried a shotgun.
Oh,
Wasn't
yeah.
on rollerblades. They were too cool for that. The more violent it gets, the less rollerblades are involved.
I guess I have one more like end question for the whole thing. What was your
You didn't let me answer.
Oh, I thought you answered. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just expounding on the rollerblade. Mine was the wind chime teaser because it was so there was this biker that was going super fast up and down the pier, and TC got so threatened by it because he was like, I'm the fastest biker. Everybody knows this. So the biker starts like egging TC on by buying him wind chimes and having them delivered to the station. Then Del Toro steps up and is like, oh, let me take over. I'm definitely faster than you. He can't catch the wind chime biker. Eventually, Chris gets a hold of the wind chime biker. And guess what? When she takes her helmet off, it's a woman. It's a woman. And both TC and Del Toro are like, a woman was faster than us?
Oh, man.
And so the whole thing was just bizarre. The wind chime teasing, the fact that they were so just befuddled that a woman could ride a bike fast.
I totally
the whole
forgot
thing.
about the wind chime teaser. What a weird thing to send. Why is it? Is it like the wind
Right?
couldn't catch me? I don't know. Is that like some kind of message? I don't know.
Yeah, it was something like that, like faster than the ride, like the wind type of a thing. And there was like all the little booths of the stuff that people sell. Like there was a booth that had a wind chime purveyor.
I
so
know.
every time
I know. Those extras, that extra was in the background of every single one.
Anyway, that's
okay.
All right, what was your last one?
So the final question for both of us is, and this was not rehearsed, you guys. This is on the spot. What was your favorite, like, I think I already know the answer, but what was the most fun you had in this whole season?
Oh, geez, it was Annette. I mean, that hands down.
Oh my gosh, it was. I knew you were going to say Annette. We giggled so hard. You guys, you hear it in the episode. If you haven't heard it, go to episode 6, Save Annette, #Save Annette. But towards the end of it, I lost it. And that was recorded, but I also lost it off recording, off audio too. I was crying. Kaydence and I couldn't breathe. We just got the giggles
crying
so hard because it was just such a sad but hilarious thing that had happened. And it was definitely the most fun we had because I think all day we were giggling about it. And then when the episode came out, I still giggled. I was still laughing when I would listen to it, and I was still could not control my laughter.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is sometimes, when you're in the moment and something's really funny and it's kind of like that, you just had to be there kind of a feeling. And so sometimes listening back to the audio, I'm never quite sure if it's going to be as funny as I remember it being. But that when I was editing it, I was crying, laughing. It made me laugh so hard. And the whole thing just got funnier and funnier. And yeah, it was funny editing it. It was funny listening back to it.
Just so you guys know, the visual that we painted was a lot funnier than what was on the show, but it was a bizarre, weird, funny thing, and we just had the best time. And if I go back and listen to it now, I'll still giggle. And I had Alex listen to it too.
Yeah,
I didn't tell him anything about it, and he was giggling so hard, and it was a lot of fun. Poor Annette. That was my favorite episode, my favorite everything. I loved Save Annette. I thought it was like the best and a highlight of this season. It was so good. Well, you guys, we are going to take a little break between season 3. We're going to kind of start releasing some movie specials.
Right. We are going to take a break from doing a series over the summer, and instead we're going to bless you with some of our very favorite movies, the movies that we watch the most often and have the most warm feelings for, that make us laugh like crazy. We're also going to have some really fun guest hosts join in on the movie party. So we look forward to sharing those movies with you, and then we'll be back for season 3 with a brand new series of only the highest caliber. Thanks so much. Bye.
The Sidetracked podcast with host Deke Antrim is the newest podcast completely dedicated to all things movies. Conversations with guests are always a hilarious and informative way to deep dive into some of your favorite films, TV shows, and anything pop culture related. Check out our latest episode in which stars Sean Young and William Sanderson give behind-the-scenes stories never heard before from their experiences working on the sci-fi classic Blade Runner. Follow us at Sidetracked with an apostrophe D.stream, brought to you by the Forwardly Network.
You already know because we just want to talk about it more. Anton Mortimer.
The fire is on your skin as it burns its way through your epidermis.